So much of this game was about Casemiro's farewell and the noise around Carrick getting that full-time job. And rightly so. It was so heartwarming seeing Casemiro addressing the crowd after the game, and he had some very poignant words.
Thank you, everyone. But the best thing in this club is you, fam. Is you, fam.
But this game reminded me of the relationship that Casemiro and Mino have built over the last few months since Carrick has took charge. In the middle of the park, those lovely combinations between the two of them, they were so good to see, and they were on full show in this game. But the passage I'm about to show you, of around sort of 20 minutes into the game, it highlights exactly what Carrick's United has been about. They may not be perfect, they do give away some dangerous chances sometimes for the opposition. But when we win that ball back, we are absolutely lethal. And this is what I'm talking about. United in that 4-4-2 mid-block, Forest just trying to really manipulate our players, and they did it to great effect to get a really dangerous chance in this instance. The ball goes out wide to Gibbs-White, and I've highlighted Hutchinson as well, because his position infield is causing Shaw and Cunha a lot of headaches. They don't know which one to go and really mark him. And then with Gibbs-White then, he continues to make that run after he plays that pass. But then that pass goes back to Elliot Anderson. He's outnumbering United's front two, because United of Mbeumo and Fernandes, they don't know which one to really go and press Anderson, as their job is normally to go and mark the opposition centre-backs. So Elliot Anderson peeling off a little bit, causing a little bit of chaos. Similarly then, he plays this ball into Hutchinson. It ends up being Mino going out and marking Hutchinson. So Luke Shaw and Cunha being left a little bit redundant. Neither of them knew which one to go out to mark him, but in the end, no one really does that job, so Mino has to go out there. And I've also highlighted on the left-hand side, you've got Gibbs-White and Dalot as well. Dalot doesn't track that run as he probably should do. And then Hutchinson plays a lovely through ball, really dissects United's full defence, goes into Gibbs-White, and Gibbs-White gets that really dangerous one-on-one onto Lemens. It's a good save. It probably is a little bit offside in this instance, but United's defending and how Forest really manipulated that 4-4-2 mid-block, I mean, it did cause some havoc, particularly in that first half for United. But then after that then, once United win that ball back, this is exactly what Carrick's United is all about. So the men's has just made that save. Mino and Cunha just a little bit of a 1-2 on the edge of our box, and then bump, United are away. Mino plays that ball into Bruno Fernandes. So many of these flicks from Fernandes, they don't always come off, but when they do, this is what causes these really dangerous opportunities. Fernandes, with that little bit of a flick around the corner, just puts the Nottingham Forest midfielder completely off balance. Cunha can stride away from him then, and then all of a sudden, with Cunha striding up the pitch, you've got United in a 4v3 on Forest backline. So immediately then, you've got alarm bells for that Forest defence, a really good United attack going. Cunha holds the ball really to the last moment and does really, really well. He slides that ball then as Mbeumo makes that run in between the Forest defenders. Mbeumo gets that ball past the Forest goalkeeper. Unfortunately, just can't slide it past him. Ends up hitting the post. But this sequence, it just really just sums up Carrick's United. We so often we can see other teams. We've seen it now up against Leeds. Sunderland was the same as well last week. We've seen it against Brentford. United, we do give away some dangerous chances no matter who the opposition is. I've said Leeds, obviously Sunderland, not really teams that had a ton of form going into those games, but they caused United tons of problems. But United going up the other end of the pitch, when we get a chance to really play on the transition, we are super lethal, and we can really go punch for punch against anyone right now. We are used to seeing teams coming up against United now and dominating large spells of the ball. And it was no different, particularly in that first half. Like many other games under Carrick, we've been probably a little bit too passive in that mid-block. This is a prime example of it. United, we got that good, really early goal. Do you go on and really push on from there then? But instead, United, we can too often, stuff like this is happening. Dominguez, I think it is, picks up that ball from the goalkeeper. As he runs it on a little bit, he's assessing his options further forward. Elliot Anderson, again, has just pulled a little bit deeper, so he's attracted Bruno Fernandes' attention. That's why Fernandes doesn't go and close down Dominguez straight away. But you can see the rest of United's team is a little bit too passive, and Dominguez then just has that license just to stroll into the middle of the park. He's not really under any sort of pressure from any United players, and he can play that ball out wide, and then Forest can play that ball further forward. It does feel far too easy for teams to push United into that deep block, but it probably is a compromise right now that Carrick is willing to make. The second half of this game, you can't say too much about it, because after that handball decision, the game really just got super stretched, and then from then it just played into United's hands. And the only issue I had with that second half was the fact that Fernandes did not get more than one assist. But then in terms of Carrick's compromise, is it purely just to protect that triangle we've got currently in the middle of the pitch with Maguire, Martinez and Casemiro? We know the mobility in those three players right now is not ideal to be that proper front foot pressing team, so that could be the reason for it. Then it could also be the reason that Carrick knows right now how lethal United are on the counter-attack, so we're trying to get as many of those opportunities as we possibly can. It's probably, to be honest, a mixture of both of those things. No doubt we'll be looking for improvements next season now in terms of the out of possession stuff, in terms of United and their pressing bag. But for now, with the players that Carrick's got at his disposal, I mean, with the results especially, we can't be asking for much more. In possession, we've seen Carrick coach some really good, lethal attacking combinations, and these players right now have really been firing. We haven't seen some of these combinations probably since the Ole days or the early Ten Hag days. And we've got that chemistry on the pitch right now to know that even if we concede, we can just go on and just keep attacking. We just go again and again and again. And you need that mentality to be a top team, because you will concede goals no matter how good your defence is. So you need that mentality at the top end of the pitch just to keep on going. And we've really got that in abundance right now. And that's even when some of our attackers are not in the best of form. We've also seen some different dynamics in recent weeks as well, with Mino doing a lot more of the dictating from deep, allowing Casemiro just to push on a little bit, allowing him to make those box crashing runs. Again, just more examples of the good dynamics that Carrick has instilled in possession and really profiling these players to the max as well. And then also having a player like Mino that can do that job from deep, but then also be effective further up the pitch as well. He is an absolute cheat code. Elliot Anderson is much the same. It's just a shame now that we're going to be priced out of a deal for him in the summer. He'd be perfect at Old Trafford, but that 120 million price tag is probably going to be far too much given the fact that we need so many other players this summer. But when I see people saying that Anderson can't play with Mino because they do each other's roles, I mean, well, yeah. But Mino has shown that he can dictate from deep, and so has Elliot Anderson. But then Anderson has shown, even in the game today, how effective he can be in and around the opposition box. But then Mino can also do that as well. So you'd have one of them pushing on, the other one dropping a little bit deeper, and they could just keep doing that and rotating as needed. I mean, it seems like the perfect combination for me, but as I've said, it's just a shame that he's probably going to be choosing City instead. But I'm going to ask you a question right now. If Anderson is worth 120 million, then how much is Mino worth? And I think United were willing to sell Mino for around 40-50 million, even just last January. And people ask why I question Ineos so much. I mean, that's a prime example. We're going to have to wait until pre-season to really see how Carrick really evolves this United team and evolves his tactics as well. We're also going to have to wait and see the players he's going to have at his disposal, because currently it does seem as if he's compromising to some of the players that he currently has in his starting 11 and in United squad right now. It was a super interesting game. Obviously, we had all the Casemiro farewell stuff as well, and I mean, you can't ask for more from him this season. Absolutely excellent. Glad he got the farewell that he really deserved. And now, obviously, we've got to really look forward and sort of really cherish what Carrick has done as well this season. And we're just looking forward now to, obviously, the last game of the season and further on from that as well. But if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, guys. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'll catch you in the next one.